Confession story time. One confession. One confession, just one. And after which we will discuss. Here we go.
Really bad because I was like, I felt so bad
Set it
about
out.
it. I called like child services
Mhm.
on this one. I called child services on my ex because he pissed me off, and then I was like, yeah, I'm done with this person, whatever. Like, cheater,
Mhm.
lies about. He had kids. I called child services
Mhm.
on his ass, and I like fabricated everything and like said certain things, and they like went to the door, and like there was a whole process. Like I don't even know if the children's aid worker still visits them, but she probably does because of what I said, like the way I AI'd that shit, like real AI shit, like fake bruises type
Be careful, fellas. Yeah.
shit. Yeah, pretty crazy.
So you fake bruises, you fake, and then you just made like exaggeration story, and then
On their kid, on his kids,
yeah.
like so hit like yeah. And they came and they were like, oh, like we're seeing stuff that your kids are being abused. You could lose your kids. And I was just like, that's,
That's
yeah, should have been nicer to me.
So we're going to be taking hands. So please raise your hands. The confession we're going to talk about it. Anything you want to talk about on it. You get 1 minute, however. So the first hand that's raised, Sandy, go ahead. Let's hear it.
At the beginning of this video, this young lady, I believe, said she felt bad about what she did, but she don't feel bad at all because she's here laughing like this is something she's proud of doing. If you're remorseful about something, that's not the behavior that you display. So she's blatantly lying here. And even if somebody piss you off, you don't go and call child services on that their children are being abused, because it doesn't only affect the person, it also affects the children. Because let's say that the protective service say, okay, the children are being abused, and they remove the children from the home, and then you're going to expose them to whatever in these homes that they make in these foster care. I don't find this funny at all. I think that's on my 1 minute.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Sandy. So we hear now from Mr. Edwards, and then we hear from Francis again. So go ahead, Mr. Edwards.
Honestly, this video is very perturbing. And I don't really care what
Could you
anyone.
project a bit? You're very low. Could you project your
Uh,
voice?
sure, I'm saying honestly, this video is a bit perturbing, as well as I don't care what anyone wants to say, but whenever adults have discussion, not gonna say discussion, but a disagreement, never ever bring kids into that disagreement. I mean, kids are innocent and they should never be brought into any form of disagreement between adults. And of course, you're careless, you're worthless for you doing that. And really and truly, she honestly, not gonna say, but she really deserved to what she got. Even I don't really care. Once you bring kids into it, then you lose all respect from it. So that's it.
Thank you so much, Mr. Edwards. Miss Francis, sorry, Miss Francis, go ahead, please. As soon as you start
Um,
talking, your timer starts with you.
okay, so situations like this, I wish there wasn't an what I call an expiration date and in which persons can be brought to law for fabricating stories like this. For example, if you accuse a man of raping you, or in this case, you call Child Protective Service and a man that didn't do anything to his children and you cause all that trauma. I think that the minute that she confessed this online, that police should be knocking down on her door and she should be carted up to jail. This woman should be put behind bars. She's too free. Her freedom is bothering me.
Thank you very much for that. We'll now hear from Miss Holder and then we'll go to the Miss Holder, could you pronounce the first name for me if you don't mind?
Alicia,
Okay, thank you for that. You can start whenever.
you're welcome. Um, it's clear that she isn't sorry, as Sandy, I believe, was saying. There's no remorse. She also ended the clip where it stopped saying, well, basically saying, too bad, you shouldn't have messed with me then. And to say what I believe Mr. Edwards was trying to say is any form of retaliation that man then take on her, to me, is warranted. You don't mess with people's children. Anything she did to him, his car, his clothes, fine. She said he cheated. Do something to take revenge on the man. But when you mess with people's children and they retaliate, I personally would not have an issue with anything you did to her.
Thank you so much. And the final person, Miss Mackenzie, go ahead.
So, as a mother, this really grieves my soul because I don't know, if it was my children that this happened to, I would find her after that confession, tie her up on a tree, pour some syrup on her and Lego some red ants and show her what abuse is like. She's wicked. And people do things like this, not remembering that they one day they may have children and wouldn't want this to happen to their children. She's cruel. I'm done.
I'm done. But that sounds innocent. All right, thank you. And I hear everyone and all that we have to say and our shocked expressions, and I agree. I agree. I feel like if you have an issue with someone, fine, have an issue with them, be upset with them. But if the children are innocent, why are you bringing them into this? Because you're now opening up a can of worms, especially since she seemed like she created evidence. So it's not just word of mouth. She created evidence, fake evidence to show. So then the battle and the uproar that family's gonna have to go through to get this situation resolved, all because the relationship didn't end in a favorable way, was handled completely immaturely. And I don't know. I just can't see as someone of sound mind. I'm not blaming it on mental health. I'm just saying I can't see someone of sound mind thinking this is a logical or just thing to do and say, yeah, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna plot it out. I'm gonna take the time to create this evidence. I'm gonna do it, all because it was never that serious to me. I don't think it was that serious. It didn't seem like he abused her, even if he did, doing that to the children, not right. But there's no justification that she could have. She took it for a joke. And it kind of reminds me of persons who trigger warning, persons who cry victim when they're not, meaning somebody upset them or whatever, and they cry, "Oh, this person raped me," or whatever, when nothing happened. Especially if it's a female to a male, and sometimes these males don't even get the justice they deserve, and they're facing lifelong issues because of that one person's choice to do something so horrendous. So it's really sad, really sad. Thank you though, guys, for participating in the Confession Story Time segment.